Welcome into Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Meghan Payton. We've got our mailbag show today, but we also have an amazing deal coming up later in this video you do not want to miss out on. So keep watching and we'll tell you how you can get some really cool Seahawks gear. But let's get into it. Our first mailbag question coming in from Jose Sindano. Hashtag Seahawks. Aside from Quandre Diggs, which Seahawks free agent do you think they should try hard to re-sign? Now, there's a lot of guys out there that I think it's very important for Seattle to sign, and we are going to talk free agents more in depth as the offseason comes and goes, and obviously we've got more time to do so, but my vote is DJ Reed. Clearly, Quandre Diggs is someone that I'd like Seattle to re-sign, but DJ Reed really proved himself this year. The cornerback room has struggled. They've gone through a lot of changes for the first time, I think, in Pete Carroll's coaching career. He changed starters during games, and DJ Reed stood out, and I think that he deserves a spot on this roster. You look at his coverage stats this year, and it was pretty good. I mean, honestly, for as much change as this cornerback room went through, only allowing a 51.5 completion percentage for quarterbacks, that's really good. He only allowed 383 yards in total, 2 touchdowns. He did have 6 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. So DJ Reed is definitely a guy I'd love to see Seattle bring back. Now, however, I don't think that Seattle should be paying a ton for him. You look at the highest paid cornerbacks per year in the league, and no. Does he fall under the $20 million range? Is he Jalen Ramsey? No. Is he Marshawn Lattimore? No. And he doesn't really line up yet with any of these guys, but just because he shouldn't be on this list doesn't mean that he shouldn't be on the roster. He does deserve a roster spot, in my opinion. He's just not yet at a place where he should be getting $20 million a year as a quarterback in the NFL. I think he falls under like the $10 million at most range. I would love to see DJ Reed back in Seattle, though. That is my second top, I guess, priority for the Seahawks to re-sign as we look ahead to 2022. But I will ask you guys, our pinned comment for today's show is to go ahead and show DJ Reed some love. If you want the Seahawks to re-sign DJ Reed, which they need to, I'm telling you now, yes, they do. Go to the comments and type DJ in the comments. If you get the ad break here, take advantage of it and get your votes in. All right, our next question is from Batman Fan 20 Batman. Seahawks should trade for Xavien Howard, sign Geno Atkins in free agency, and trade for Stephon GIlmore. All right, if you guys are new to this, I'm sorry, but Batman Fan 20 Batman, right now, I'm asking you, go defend Geno Atkins in the comments, because every week your question has something to do with Atkins. We're not going to talk Geno Atkins every week. So go right now and tell me why you want him in Seattle. And if you guys agree with Batman Fan 20 Batman, go ahead, join the club. Tell me why Atkins deserves to be in Seattle. But I'll tell you guys about the great deal that I promised to tell you about. This is from Fanatics. They have some awesome hoodies on sale right now. Guys, I'm really excited about this one. If you go to chatsports.com/Seahawks hoodie, SEA hoodies, you can get a ton of cool Seahawks gear. This is up to 50% off. All of these are going out, though. I promise you, I was looking at the website today. Now's the chance. If you do want some cool Seahawks hoodies, they're at a really good price. There's a ton of options. There's women's, there's men's, there's pull-ups, there's over like the hoodie ones. There's a ton of different things that you guys would find. So make sure you go check that out. That's chatsports.com/SEA hoodies. All right, we are going to move on with our mailbag show. But first, going back to Batman Fan 20, Batman's question. He's going to defend Geno Atkins in the comments, but I will move on from that and talk Xavien Howard. So Xavien Howard is a guy that I would love Seattle to trade for. We talked about this in our trade videos. I'd love to see Howard in Seattle. Clearly one of the, if not the top cornerback in the league. Over this past year and the year before, he really has proven himself, and that's why he's very expensive. If you look at his coverage stats in 2021, not as fantastic as 2020, but he only allowed a 57.1 completion percentage against quarterbacks. He did allow 7 touchdowns, though. He had 7 pass breakups and 5 interceptions. Xavien Howard would be fantastic. Now let's go back into Batman's question. He asks about Xavien Howard, and he also says trade for Stephon GIlmore. So Stephon GIlmore is actually going to be a free agent. So if you do not know, GIlmore was traded from the Patriots to the Panthers in 2021. He will become a free agent this offseason, technically now. And GIlmore would be another great addition, I think, to the Seahawks defense. We talked about him during free agent targets. So I look at guys like Stephon GIlmore or Xavien Howard. These guys are really good. And our cornerback room in Seattle, it's also good, but we don't have a standout guy like GIlmore, or I've said Marcus Peters before, Xavien Howard. These are guys that can drastically change your locker room. So when we think cornerbacks, I will ask you guys first, who would you pick if you had to choose between Xavien Howard or Stephon GIlmore? These guys are expensive. One's a trade, one's a free agent. Go to the comments right now. Type H for Howard if you would like him. If you're saying no, I go for Stephon GIlmore, type G for GIlmore. Now, guys, this is why you subscribe to Seahawks Today, because we did a trade target show where we talk about stuff like this. So I'm not going to plug our videos every time, but go to youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss out on stuff like this. But our trade target video goes into 5 guys that I think that the Seahawks should at least consider. We will have all the Seahawks updates for you guys as, of course, this offseason becomes more filled with news and rumors. All right, Batman, we're moving on from your questions. Switching over to AC Saints Stan. We have a Saints fan asking Seahawks questions. The impact Penny had on the offense. Now, the impact Rashaad Penny had on this offense goes without question. He had a major impact. You cannot deny what Rashaad Penny did over this past month and a half. Rashaad Penny earned his way back onto this roster. That is why I will live and die by the fact that Seattle needs to re-sign Penny. He has proven himself. We always questioned, and I'll say too, back in the beginning of the season, I didn't even know if they should keep him that year. I was kind of saying maybe trade for him, but he is healthy now, and he's looking a lot better. And you look at this is a fun stat, I think. This is the 2021 single game rush leader. So this is obviously just over one game. Dalvin Cook leading 205 yards. That was during one of his games this year. But number 2, Rashaad Penny. He had 190 yards, up there with guys like Najee Harris, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. Now, I think Penny could and might be as dominant of a running back one day as these guys on this list. I just think that he has to stay healthy, because when he is healthy, there is no doubt that he is great. Rashaad Penny earned his way back. Seahawks absolutely need to re-sign him. I'm saying that, and I'm going to preach that until we find out that they do. And I'll see if you guys agree with me in the comments, because Penny is someone that I do love. And I'll actually talk about some of the other guys that I think Seahawks should consider bringing back. This is my top 5 players that the Seahawks should re-sign. We've got Quandre Diggs. That's an obvious. And yeah, he's going to be expensive. DJ Reed, I don't think he's going to be as much as you might think, but I'd love to see him back. As I said, Rashaad Penny, Ryan Neal, another guy that I thought stood out this year, and Al Woods. Al Woods, yes, he's older, but signed to a 1, maybe 2-year deal. These are my top 5 free agents that Seattle needs to re-sign, but it's your turn. Go and tell me right now, who do the Seahawks need to re-sign? I know we would like a lot of them back, but who is the top guy that you think absolutely needs to be back in Seattle? All right, next question coming in from DKalin14. Who will replace Diggs for the Pro Bowl? That's actually a really good question. I didn't know the answer to this, so I was trying to look it up, but they actually have not announced that. The free safety position doesn't have a backup, so I'm assuming that they might have, maybe they have a revote, or maybe they, go look at the list of guys that were second, but Quandre Diggs, of course, will not be playing in the Pro Bowl, unfortunately for him, with that injury. That is not the top of his concern right now. Right now, he is trying to get signed, hopefully back in Seattle, as I've said. Now, guys, again, you do not want to miss out on the Fanatics deal. So go to chatsports.com/SEA hoodies. It's the off season, but it's chilly in Seattle. Go and get yourself a hoodie up to 50% off. Limited time offer. These hoodies are running out. Go ahead and check out that deal.